Alright, what's up y'all? Today we're going to go over my last major that I shot. This was Georgia Peach Classic. We'll kind of go over through some of the stages and break them down. I have HatCam here all linked together with some other random camera footage thrown in. We'll kind of go through it and break it down. We started on stage 4, which is a 28 round course with the last 4 needing to be weak hand, or strong hand, sorry. So we'll kind of watch this and break it down. This was a decent run. I think I got like 67%. I got 4 Charlies on it. Still sub 20 seconds, which I think is what I was aiming for when I went to go shoot it. But we'll watch it here and then we'll go down and break some of the stuff down.
Are you ready? Stand by.
So we'll go back to that. So you'll kind of notice on a lot of these stages today, from this day of shooting, I did what I call floating on my transitions. So right there, and then there. And it's just a lack of confidence on my movement of the gun, and because I'm not trying to overdrive the gun, and I'm not getting my eyes to where they need to go because I didn't walk the stages good enough. I'm not remembering my walkthrough. So that's what kind of causes that. The balance beam was a little bit slippery from it being a little bit dewy, and I was a little bit worried about it for the first stage of the day. So that was some of the slower shooting on here that should have been really fast this backside, and it wasn't. And the reason I chose to shoot it left to right was it flowed a little bit better, and then the last 2 targets are not on the same array, because if you shot it the other way, you had to shoot half of that middle array and then that last target to the left. So I decided to shoot it left to right, which worked pretty good actually. And I should have gotten a little, just like an inch or 2 further to the left. Would have been perfect positioning to get into that last target. But my reload was really good going into here. It seemed like it flowed pretty good. The biggest thing that cost me time was that makeup shot on the second to last target. Slow weak hand, and then my transitions in the middle of the stage were slow. All right, we'll go to the next stage here. Let this one play out. But I was just lacking aggression on this stage, which kind of was this entire match. For up close, high hit factor stuff, I was definitely lacking the aggression that was needed to get the time that I needed. All right, so this is the next stage. This is stage 5. This is 27 rounds, 11 paper, 4 steel. Nothing really special. There's a max trap that's a disappearing target on the backside, and I'll kind of show you. The first half of this stage flowed really well. The second half didn't because my grip was bad, but I'll kind of show that here. So going through my make ready here, I've gotten it down to somewhat of a science. Still, sometimes I mess stuff up, but just getting out of my head is still a pretty big deal.
Are you ready? Stand by.
But I absolutely crushed that mini popper, and those 2 targets on the left on the move were no shoot in the open. I think I did pretty good on this one. I did do 9 Charlies. Most of them were on the back half of the stage. That definitely cost me a lot. And then time is obviously not there. But these hits were all good. I let my aggression come out of there, and then something happened here with my footing and just threw the gun all over the place. And I sent a bunch of rounds at these mini poppers.
Frick.
You can kind of tell my grip is just plain loose. And then I just slowed down way too much and was completely lost all my aggression.
All right. show clear. Clear, hammer down, and clear.
So I was not happy with that one walking away on the second stage. It was okay, but I definitely dropped a lot of Charlies for a 6.5 hit factor stage, which isn't great. Sorry, no, 5. I got 5.5 hit factor on that one. So it wasn't great. I definitely could have done that a lot better. Yeah, like I said, the second half was not what I wanted it to be.
Ready, clear, time, 2-1, 2-1. Are you ready?
All right, this is stage 6. This is a 24 round Comstat course. Nothing really special, just unloaded start at the front of the stage. So it's a retreating stage. It was pretty fun. This one was a really fun one to shoot. I usually do decent at unloaded starts, but we'll see how this one goes. So here was I was talking about the floating on the transitions. It's just kind of floating. It's not snapping to a point like I would like the gun to do. And then here was good. And then right here, I was kind of got my feet out in front of me, falling off back onto my heels. And the gun was, the dot was way off and my shooting stance was terrible.
Frick.
And I lost the dot. So I waited till I got the dot and then pulled the trigger because I knew it was a no shoot. And then it kind of interrupted my shooting pattern. But then that worked, okay. So I just kind of interrupted my shooting pattern and then kind of hiccuped the stage. I got 1 Charlie on that stage. I think it was, I don't remember which target it was on, but it was decently fast. It just wasn't, the time wasn't there. And I should have been, I would have been fine dropping a few more Charlies and pushing the speed a lot more.
Clear. It's clear, hammer down holster. Range is clear, 1663.
1663.
2 alpha.
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 All right, and then this is kind of where my match started to fall apart. This stage was an interesting stage. You had to go to both corners at least, one corner at least twice because of the way the activators were laid out. So this is kind of the way I chose to shoot it, and it would have worked if I would have done my part in actually shooting it.
Ready.
This is stage 7. It is 19 rounds, and as you will see, what happens on this one. So that was good.
Are you ready?
I like that.
Bye.
That was slow, but then I got the popper pretty quickly. And then here I'm floating transitions again, so this is slow. Gun was up there, pretty good. Got on target at that one pretty quickly, but then here it just kind of fell apart. And then I forgot where my transition, where I needed to go with the next one.
Sean says it's you. Frick.
And then I went to war with this popper, which was a large popper, like 25 yards. I have no clue what happened. It was terrible.
What?
I was just yanking the trigger perfectly.
Dang it.
Which my reload was fast, but I had 22 or 23 loaded, and I shot all of them in a 19 round stage.
If you are finished, unload, show clear. If clear, slide, hammer down, and holster. Range.
So yeah, that one wasn't great. That kind of killed my match. I only threw 3 Charlies, but the time was way too long on that, obviously.
Just clear. 2644.
Dang it.
Supposed to copy me.
2644.
Said do it better. Dude, you killed that reload though.
And as always, it's fun to shoot with the group of people I normally shoot with. So that was fun to shoot at this match.
That shit
Reload was
super
good.
spicy. Yeah.
And here is stage 8. This one was 25 rounds, and it was a little bit interesting because it was start anywhere. There was a bunch of different ways you could shoot it. The way I chose to shoot it was you could have shot most of it through the port and then went and not had to go over and then back out again. I just decided to do it because that's the way I walked it. Probably wasn't quite as efficient, but it did work.
Are you ready? Stand by.
little bit of trigger freeze there. And then I messed up my target engagement order here. Supposed to just go to the far one. So I went ahead and took 2 on the middle one there in case I decided to miss it later. And then that swinger was fast, so I just took 2 at it and moved. This was one reason I shot it this way, is I could move pretty much and shoot the entire time. Take the no shoot on the move. And then I messed up my transition here. But the plan was good, I just didn't execute it very good. And I Delta Mike the swinger. I had 1 Mike, 1 Delta, that was on the swinger, and then 6 Charlies, and it wasn't fast enough for that many points dropped.
If you're finished, unload, show clear. If clear, hammer down and holster.
Alright, so here we have stage 9. This one's just a fairly simple 27 round course. Nothing really special, it's a lot of moving and shooting. Which you had to do pretty much shoot on the move with everything.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Transitions are looking a little bit better here. Pretty much didn't stop shooting that entire second part of the course there. So I was happy with that one. That one was stage 9. That was one of my better stages. I got 75% on that. I dropped 5 Charlies, which isn't great, but it was a fairly high hit factor stage. I could have shot it a lot more aggressive too.
If you are finished, unload, show clear. Clear, hammer down and holster.
All right, and this one was pretty cool. It's a stage 10 that they had video equipment set up on it. There wasn't anything really special with this one. It was there was about 2 different ways you could shoot it the way I shot it, and then go front to the left first, I think, yeah. But we'll see. This way I shot it, I liked the way it flowed, so I did it that way.
Are you ready? Stand by.
So I wanted to move on this partial no shoot, which I did kind of, and it worked. I threw, this is stage 10, I threw 3 Charlies on this stage. I did pretty good on it. It was a decently hard stage to shoot. Got a little bit tense there and wasn't pushing the gun fast enough. And I fumbled my reload a bit there. And then I pulled one into the black on that tux there and had to come back and fix it, which of course hitches up your stage. And then that last half was not near aggressive enough, which was kind of the whole day was like that. All right, and then this stage was the one I was the most happy with how I shot it. I just made one pretty major mistake on it, which you will see here in a minute. And all I have is just the vertical video for this one. My hat cam was either dead or I forgot to put it on. I forget which one. So right there, there is a mini popper to the left in the middle of that array that is only available from that sight line out. My plan was to plant in that corner and take it, and then either take it on the move coming out, but probably just plant and take it because it was a decently long shot, and I completely forgot about it. But that's a good example of the crash. I executed that pretty good. I was happy with a lot of my technical implementation of stuff on this stage, like the crash there, and then shooting on the move, moving towards the front here in the next little bit. I shot most of that all on the move, and then I surprised myself hitting the popper on the move and just kind of hitched myself because I wasn't expecting to hit it. And then I should have taken that popper right here, and I didn't. And then I forgot to where I was going next and didn't explode out of position there. And that seemed like it flowed pretty good. And as you can see there on the end, that was stage 1. I had 1 Mike, 1 procedural for the steal, and then 1 Charlie other than that. So other than the Mike, other than missing the steal, it was a pretty good run. And still, it was one of my better stages. Shooting that back part on the move was pretty difficult to do, but you had to do it to get a good score.
Are you ready?
This is stage 2. This was an interesting stage. It had an activator. Had an activator up front, and it was kind of in a U pattern with a little bit of retreating because there's X's in the middle. I did decent on it. Let me see here what I could have done better.
Stand by.
It was just kind of getting towards the end of the day, and I was getting a little bit fatigued, but pushed through it. Retreat shooting on the move was fairly decent. And then I planned my reload for a horrible spot right there and did it kind of basically standing. I should have done it after I took that next target, before this target. Hit the activator good. Got good hits on the max trap. I had 7 Charlie on the stage, so not ideal, but I was pushing speed a little bit more, which was nice. So not a terrible stage, just could have pushed speed a little bit more. Made a couple little technical mistakes, but overall wasn't terrible.
If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Range is clear, 1911.
All right, and here's the last stage of the day. This is a fixed time stage. It was, I believe, 7.2 seconds. And we'll see here how I did.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Shooting on the move, fairly spicy transitions. And then I really should have taken a second split on that target there. I really could have easily done it. But the timer right behind me kind of messed me up. This one I did decent on. I got 5 Charlie and a Delta. And then, of course, 5 non-penalty mics on the front, so not ideal. If I would have turned that into an alpha, it would have been pretty good. But it was a decently good way to end the match. Felt like I had a decent amount of speed on it and everything was flowing good for the match. This was by far my best major that I've had. If we look up the results here, it was one of my best majors finishes that I've had. I finished at like 70% in carry optics, which was better. I don't think I've broke 65 before now. But if I would have taken a couple of small mistakes out, or not small, they were big mistakes, missing targets and such, I could have done a lot better. But we'll learn and do better next time. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and go shoot a major. You learn a lot. As you can see here, this was a couple hours of shooting, 6-7 hours of shooting, and I learned a lot from it. Biggest takeaway with this match was just push speed way more.